Have you ever noticed how some of the most memorable moments in your life came right after you did something really, really hard? Whether it was finally finishing a marathon, solving a puzzle that had you stumped for days, or just mastering a new skill, there's a unique satisfaction that comes from struggle. It feels good, right? But why? Why does our brain seem to secretly crave a good challenge? It turns out our brains are wired for this. It's not about enjoying pain or suffering. It's about what happens on the other side of that discomfort. Today, we're diving deep into the science behind why your brain actually loves it when you struggle, and how you can use this knowledge to unlock your full potential. Let's start with a little trip back in time, way back. For our ancestors, life was a series of challenges. Finding food, building shelter, avoiding predators. Every day was a struggle for survival. Those who were good at solving problems and overcoming obstacles were the ones who survived and passed on their genes. So in a way, we are the descendants of the world's greatest problem solvers. A preference for challenge is literally built into our DNA. Our brains evolved to get a kick out of overcoming difficulty because it was essential for staying alive. Now let's fast forward to the modern brain. When you're wrestling with a tough problem, your brain is firing on all cylinders. It's forming new connections, strengthening existing ones, and essentially getting a full-blown workout. This process is called neuroplasticity. Think of your brain as a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger and more flexible it becomes. Easy, repetitive tasks don't do much for brain growth. It's the struggle, the part where you feel stuck and have to really think, that forces your brain to adapt and grow. But there's more to it than just brain mechanics. Let's talk about the feel-good chemicals. When you finally overcome a challenge, your brain releases a flood of dopamine. Dopamine is often called the reward chemical. It's the same neurotransmitter that's released when you eat your favorite food or listen to a great song. This dopamine hit creates a powerful sense of accomplishment and pleasure. Your brain is essentially rewarding you for your hard work and telling you, hey, that was awesome, let's do it again. This creates a positive feedback loop. You struggle, you succeed, you get a dopamine reward, and you're more motivated to take on the next challenge. This is the very essence of learning. Think about learning to ride a bike. You fall, you scrape your knees, you get frustrated, it's a struggle. But when you finally find your balance and pedal on your own, the feeling is pure joy. That's the dopamine talking. It's what makes us want to learn new languages, play musical instruments, or get better at our jobs. The struggle is the price of admission for the reward of mastery. Now, you might be thinking, okay, a little struggle is good, but what about when it feels like too much? That's a great point. There's a sweet spot for beneficial struggle, a concept psychologists call the zone of proximal development. This is the space between what you can already do easily and what is completely impossible for you right now. Staying in this zone is key. If a task is too easy, you get bored. Your brain isn't being challenged, so there's no growth and no dopamine reward. If a task is too hard, you get overwhelmed and anxious, which can lead to giving up. The magic happens when you're working on something that's just outside your current comfort zone. It requires effort, focus, and maybe even a few failed attempts. This is where you learn the most. You're stretching your abilities, and your brain is building new pathways to handle this new level of difficulty. So the goal isn't to seek out impossible tasks, but to consistently push yourself just a little bit further than what feels comfortable. Another huge benefit of embracing struggle is building resilience. Resilience is your ability to bounce back from setbacks. Every time you face a challenge and don't give up, you're teaching your brain that you can handle difficulty. You're building a belief in your own ability to persevere. Life is inevitably going to throw curveballs at you. People who actively avoid any kind of struggle are often the first to crumble when things get tough. But those who have practiced overcoming challenges have a mental toolkit ready to go. They've learned that frustration is temporary and that effort leads to results. This mindset is incredibly powerful, not just for achieving goals, but for navigating the general ups and downs of life. Struggle also gives our lives meaning. Imagine a life where everything was handed to you. No challenges, no obstacles, no effort required. It might sound nice for a day or two, but it would quickly become incredibly boring and unfulfilling. Our achievements are meaningful precisely because they are difficult. The value we place on something is often directly proportional to the effort we put into it. The degree you worked years for, the business you built from the ground up, the relationship you nurtured through tough times, these things are precious because of the struggle involved. It's the effort that tells the story and gives our accomplishments their value. So, how can we apply this in our daily lives? How do we get more comfortable with being uncomfortable? First, reframe how you see challenges. Instead of seeing a difficult task as a threat or a sign that you're not good enough, see it as an opportunity for growth. When you feel that sense of frustration, remind yourself, this is my brain getting stronger. This is where learning happens. Second, break down big goals into smaller, manageable steps. If you want to run a marathon, you don't start by trying to run 26 miles on day 1. You start with 1 mile, then 2. Each small step is a manageable challenge that keeps you in that sweet spot, the zone of proximal development. Each small win gives you a little dopamine hit that motivates you to take the next step. Third, embrace the idea of failing forward. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every time you try something and it doesn't work, you're not failing, you're gathering data. You're learning what doesn't work, which gets you one step closer to what does. People like Thomas Edison didn't see his thousands of attempts to invent the light bulb as failures. He saw them as steps in the process. Adopting this mindset frees you from the fear of not getting it right the first time. And finally, be mindful of your comfort zone. Make it a habit to do one thing each day that scares you a little. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It could be speaking up in a meeting, trying a new recipe, or taking a different route home. These small acts of stepping into the unknown keep your brain flexible and build your courage for bigger challenges down the road. Our modern world is obsessed with convenience and ease. We have apps and devices designed to eliminate every possible friction point in our lives. And while that's great in some ways, it can also rob us of the very thing our brains need to thrive, a healthy dose of struggle. By intentionally seeking out and embracing challenges, we're not just making ourselves smarter and more resilient. We're tapping into a fundamental source of human motivation and fulfillment. We're giving our brains exactly what they were designed to do and reaping the rewards of a more engaged, meaningful, and satisfying life. So the next time you find yourself struggling, take a moment. Don't fight the feeling. Acknowledge it. Remember that this feeling of difficulty is the feeling of growth. It's your brain on its way to becoming a better version of itself. It's the secret ingredient to a life well lived. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this interesting, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more content on how to understand your brain and live a better life. Let me know in the comments about a struggle that led to one of your proudest moments. I'd love to hear your stories. See you in the next one.